Hi, it's Mark. It's getting late. Well, yes, when I'm recording this, it's getting late in the evening, but it's getting late in the month. It's the last day of the month. It's getting late in the year. It's the end of October. It's getting late in life. Well, some people my age, it's really late. I recently turned 70 and I feel nowhere near 70. A lot of my contemporaries and friends that I've known, too many of them, have died younger than me. And every week I read obituaries about people who died, who are my age or slightly more than my age. And sometimes they died of dread diseases. And that's sad. Diseases, accidents, catastrophes of one kind or another take people down. And that's not the sort of thing you notice when you're 30 or 40 or 50. But when you get past 60 and 70, and as I expect in the next 30 years, as I get older and older, I'll find that more and more of my contemporaries will have bit the dust, bought the big one, keeled over, croaked, died, expired, and gone way past their best before date. When we're young, we don't think about longevity very much. What 15-year-old thinks about being 70? What 20-year-old or 25-year-old thinks about getting old at all? Because we're young, we're strong, we're vibrant, we've got a lifetime ahead of us. And then before we know it, we're at a different stage of life. And for a lot of people I encounter, this stage of life, this age of life, doesn't seem to be that exciting for them because they're in retirement mode or already retired, they're tired, and sometimes they're not in good health. And you add the combo of those things together, then it's a question of, well, do people have vibrant, exciting things going on in their lives to keep them mentally alive, if not physically alive as well? Do they have a place to go? Do they have a sense of purpose? Do they have things that interest them or things that they're interested in? Do they have a peer group? Do they have a social group that they hang out with, that they talk with? Made all the tougher during the pandemic, of course. And I've been thinking about this lately because when you want to give a talk to a group, you want to inspire them. Isn't that the idea of inspirational speaking? To speak to an audience and say, listen, I have a message for you. I have a takeaway for you that will help you change your life. Just think of me as a Tony Robbins or Stephen Covey kind of guru. Well, you don't, because I'm just an ordinary person like you. But I'm not an ordinary person. I'm an extraordinary person. And you're an extraordinary person too. We have so much ahead of us. And to say I've got a lifetime ahead of me is true. I have the lifetime that's behind me. But going forward is not a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan or a 30-year strategy. I've got a target called 116, so I got 46 years to go, and 46 years of adult, mature, intelligent life with some drive. I think that's a good shot at another life. I'm continuing with the one I built. I have a professional practice in real estate. I have a long established practice of writing more, writing better. I've been talking for more than 20 years. more often on a stage than to a screen. But what am I going to do now? Park it because I've reached some milestone of age, stage of my life? I don't think so. I felt more energized in the last few months than I have in a long time. And I know at least one person is going to say, oh, that's because you met someone and your life suddenly is feeling more exciting and vibrant. And there's truth to that. Because when you don't have a relationship with a partner and you're seeking one, that impacts how you feel. It impacts your energy level. And when you suddenly do meet that person with whom you believe you've got a future, that you are spending a lot of time with, that you are having some really good synergy with, well, that's exciting. That's uplifting. But it doesn't make you different. It maybe contributes to you being happier, or maybe contributes to you being tired because you're juggling time commitments with that person and your regular work and so on. But for me, at least, right now, lately, the last few months, I've got some joy in my heart every day to a greater degree than I did before. Is that because of her? Or is it because of her and me and how we fit? I don't know. It's early days and it's a long journey. But if early days are any indication, it's going to be a fantastic journey. And I think that's a great metaphor for what I'm trying to talk about today, well, tonight, this evening, is that we need goals and objectives and things to do, things we want to do, to which we're committed, where when we get working on them, we have the energy for it, we have the passion for it. But we need that little extra something. And it's sort of like walking a dog that suddenly sees a rabbit or a squirrel. So, squirrel, and that dog is gone and changes direction. Well, we're like that too. Because maybe as we get a little older, we don't have as pressing a career. We don't have the same multitude of things on our plate in terms of work and family and children and all the things that our much younger contemporaries have. So we have the opportunity to be going down a path of activities or pursuits, and then something comes along that just gets us excited. It might be the person we met in a meeting or something we read about that's a new interest. And some of these we explore a little bit and some totally alter our path. But we need the energy for that. That energy comes not from the great new woman we met and brought into our life, or the new job or contract or piece of business we pursue, but it comes from something more visceral, deeper, and it's inside of us. And for me, that's a validation of I'm more than okay. I'm good. I'm extraordinarily good at some things. All those years of experience really did pay off. I really do have something to offer the world. I have something to offer an audience. I have something to offer my client or a friend. And part of that is a sense of generosity. I have something to give. In some cases, that's some training or mentoring for a younger colleague. I have an ability to educate and help a client navigate a complicated transaction or a better understanding of the kind of real estate they're dealing with. Or I'll meet somebody whose personality or behavior is just so intriguing to me that beyond knowing them or having a conflict with them or whatever the interaction might be, aha, I've got a character to put in a short story I'm writing or the novel I'm working on. So we have all kinds of things we can do with our energy. We can put it to much good use, on projects, on ambitious things we want to do, on relationships we want to invest time in, whether they're business relationships or personal relationships, family relationships, or just meeting the stranger on the corner. Recently, I exchanged business cards with a guy at the gas pump, and he's on my list of people to reach out to in the coming week, because you never know when you're going to meet somebody and you want to get to know them better, or they want to get to know you better. But first, we have to get to know ourselves better. The answers are inside us. And I don't say that in some sort of passionate message that a preacher would have, or the Tony Robbins of the world, or the Stephen Coveys of the world. These people got these magic formulas. I think for every one of us, it's not so much a formula or a self-help book to read, but there's something inside us that says, this is something I have to do in my life. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for someone. I'm doing it for the world. There's going to come a day when I'm not here, and this is a problem that needs to be solved, or a thing that needs to be created. And the person to do it is me. It's a problem for me to solve. It's a project for me to do. It's an idea for me to bring to fruition. And whether that's fiction writing or building development, commercial transactions, or forming great friendships, we all have to determine what that's going to be for us. But if we reach this stage of life that I'm at, and we don't yet know what that thing is, that thing we need to do, that thing we want to do, that thing that energizes us just talking about it, then we need to look for it. So my message for you, the listener to this talk, is figure out what your thing is, your thing inside you, the difference you want to make because of who you are, what you care about, the skill set you have, the problems that you know you can identify, and no one else sees it your way. But they will, because you'll convince them that your way is the right way. Your way is the new way. The solution to problems in our world, in our communities, in our industries, in our sphere of influence within people is enormous. I mean, the solutions to a better world do not all come from Silicon Valley and Wall Street or a medical lab. And while certainly many things come from technology and medicine and science, and they all need financing, and all of these people need to come together, there are simpler basic things that don't require the quiet hand of capitalism behind us, or the puppet strings of government to run something. They just need real people like you and me, who talk to other real people like you and me. We talk like this. We don't make bold statements we can't back up. We deal with people with a handshake, with a look in the eye, with decency and fairness and respect. We treat people that way. They treat us that way in return. I'm going to wrap up now. It's getting late. I think I'm going to go to bed and get up and have a great day tomorrow. So whether you're listening to this in the evening or in the morning, have a great day today, or have a great day tomorrow. Take a look inside. What's in here? What unfulfilled dream or goal or project or thing that needs doing can I do? Figure it out, do it, get started. There's no time to waste. Make the world a better place, one idea one person, one connection at a time. That's a wrap. I'm Mark Kolke. Good night.